I'm going to quickly run you through the features on the Strobelite Plus. It's a 400 watt effective strobe, so it's got plenty of power out there if you're shooting outdoors or indoors. But a good thing to know is what each of the features or buttons and stuff to do on the back so you get the most out of your flash. Really quickly, I'm going to run you through. Over here, we have our flash on and off. That's the most important one. That turns the power on from our AC power cord onto our flash. We also have our modeling light. This is the second button here. There's two different intensities. This right here is neat because you turn this on, it has a smaller light inside here that burns, and it gives you a modeling light, something to focus with, but also casts the light so you know what the flash is going to look like before it even goes off. It's a great way to set up your lights. You might want to turn your modeling light on high, set your lights up, see where the light is going to be, and then you can turn that off, and every time it flashes after that, you already have visualized what your end result's going to look like. You also have our power slider up here. You can go 4-stop increments, so we can go full power, 3/4, half, and then quarter power. So it gives us a lot of range and leeway there as far as setting our exposure. And what I like about it is it's really fine-tuned. Like you can take a little bit off. You don't have to go in the full quarter-stop increments. And then if you look over here on the side, we're getting into some of our buttons up here. Our ready light here on the back lets us know when our head is recycled and lets us know when it's ready to fire again. If you're shooting too fast, this light won't go off, and if you fire beforehand, you're not going to get all the power that you could or that you should be looking for firing that flash. So you don't want to fire faster than your little ready light is indicating that it's ready to go. At the same time, there's a sound button underneath that, sound on and off. If you're not necessarily looking at the back of this little red dot, because you're probably looking at your subject, the sound on is a great feature because it gives you a beep when that head is ready to fire again. So I don't have to be looking at the back of my head to know. I can just hear beep, okay, fire again, beep, fire again. It's a great way to let you know that you're not shooting faster than your actual strobe is recycling. And then again over here on our slave cell, our slave on and off, this turns on this little sensitive eye right here. This is a triggering mechanism. What this eye does when you turn that on is it looks for other flashes to be firing in the room. So say you have a flash on top of your camera, you can fire that off and it'll look for that flash, and when it sees it with this little eye, it'll tell this pack to go ahead and fire too. That way they fire at the same time. You can also turn that off, maybe if you don't want this to be firing on its own, or if you want to set a different kind of, like a wireless trigger or a cable or something to it, you can go ahead and turn that off. And last but not least, we have our test button over here. This just gives you a little test pop, lets you know your light's on and firing. And below that, you have your sync cable. This is a 1/8 inch audio plug. It's a female. This is what you would go ahead and take a sync cable from maybe a Pocket Wizard or a wireless trigger, and that's where this would go ahead and plug in. And then you've got reliable firing that way, using wireless triggers between your camera and then your strobe. So those are the features on the back of your Strobelite Plus. Definitely a good thing to know. You want to know your gear inside and out, so when you're out there in the field taking pictures, it's just all about you and your subject and composition.